Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Quinn, and I don't work for LinkedIn. I'm just a retired Army Sergeant Major that knows that I would not have found career success without the tools that LinkedIn gave me. See, I'm an executive in one of the largest and most prestigious consulting firms in the world, simply because LinkedIn enabled me to cross paths, to have conversations with decision makers. And when we talked, they saw talent. Talent that was beyond what you saw on my resume, that wasn't exactly a perfect fit. And they realized they wanted me on that team, and they created opportunity. And so what I want to do today is share with you why LinkedIn and how you can use it for your transition. So all conversations when it comes with LinkedIn start with scale, right? So 690 million users, 300,000 employers, 95% of the Fortune 500 companies use LinkedIn to source talent. You've got every recruiter I've ever spoken with use LinkedIn, and I talk to a lot. And then you've already got millions of veterans that are on LinkedIn. So it's already got the ecosystem you need to find that success and create opportunity. In fact, I would challenge you that if you want to create something to help service members transition, the challenge you're going to face is not in creating it. The challenge you're going to face is convincing employers and recruiters to use it to source talent from a niche industry. And so LinkedIn's got it. It's already being used. The relationships are there, and all the tools are there. And that's what I want to share with you today. So let me share my screen so we can talk about why LinkedIn from a talent acquisition perspective. And so what you have to understand is the way that companies source talent. They post a job, they advertise it to create a talent funnel, right? They get hundreds of candidates in, and they get down to 3 to 5 candidates that are interviewing with a hiring manager for that role. Now, let's talk about this. How many of those 3 to 5 candidates do you think are internal promotions? See, you got to understand, companies have realized it's very expensive to replace talent, and nobody stays at a company for 20 to 30 years anymore. So if you don't give your high performers room to grow, they leave. And so companies always look internally for talent to fill those roles before they start sourcing externally. In fact, they may already have 5 candidates for that role. They may already have the person in mind, and they just have to post a job to meet OFCCP guidelines. And so you have to deal with that internal promotions role. Then we go over to employee referrals. Again, companies know that you have a better chance of being a quality hire if you're referred by somebody that understands the company, the culture, the industry, or the roles. And so companies actually give bonuses to employees when they refer someone and they get hired. And so you could have 3 to 5 employee referrals out there. I mean, you could have 10. And so what's left for the service member that follows all the advice they get in TAP, which is good advice? Tailor the resume, write a cover letter, fill out all the questions online, get the right salary range, and hit apply. Well, what's left is that you've got less than a 4% chance of getting an interview. You can actually submit hundreds of tailored resumes and only get single-digit interviews, especially in today's world of 44 million recently unemployed talent out there. And so the key to all of this is understanding is that you've got to leverage relationships to get those referrals. Because if you get a referral, you increase your odds of getting a job 11 times. And there's millions of veterans out there to help you. And that's what I'm going to teach you how to do in this session this afternoon. So let's go over here to LinkedIn real quick. And understand, you log into LinkedIn, you get the open screen. This has the articles that your connections are sharing or engaging on. But we're going to talk about setting up your profile. And it's simple. You click this little one right here, and you've got your basic profile, which is an expanded resume. Gives us a little bit more information about you than just in a resume. You can change your picture just by clicking and adding a picture. I tell people dress for the job you want with a clear, non-distracting background and a little bit of a smile. I actually took this in front of my house. My wife took it with an iPhone, and maybe there's about 50 clicks till we got the great smile, but it's worked for me very well. You can add a background image, and the background image is just something that adds a little personality, just like on every platform out there. And so you can just go to Google and Google LinkedIn background images, find the one you want, and you can just click this pencil right here and change your background image. You can even create ones using free platforms like Canva if you want. But the key is just to add a little bit of personality and not leave that blue screen with the connected white dots. Now, aside from that, LinkedIn is very user-friendly. You can either go through and do section by section, or you can go directly to different sections using this. You've got your name, you've got your headline. Your headline is your professional identity. It's either what you're doing now, or when you flip that switch and decide you're transitioning at about the 6, 7, 8 month mark, it's what you want to do and why we consider you for those roles. So if you want to go into project management, maybe it's project management and the industries, construction, engineering, training, development. If you want to go into training management, it could be training management and then distance learning, curriculum development, classroom facilitation, learning management systems. You get where I'm going with this. It's just a great way to tell employers what you want to do and why they should consider you for those roles. You've got your location, which can be where you are now, but when you flip that switch, can also be where you want to be, the largest metropolitan area where you want to be. And that's because most recruiters start sourcing locally because they don't know that you get a final PCS, 94% of the population never served. And, they start locally and spread out from there. So by changing your location to where you want to be, it actually tells them that you're going to be in that area. You're probably not going to need a relocation package. All of this is done real simple using the pencil, and you can change everything in this section. And that's a recurring theme throughout your profile. You've got your about section. It's your professional summary, that little paragraph at the top of your resume that you're going to include. Again, you can edit it or add it using the pencil. And then if you've got your experience section, it's reverse chronological from current going backwards. And you can go back as far as you need to for your professional identity. All you have to do is to add a new example is hit this plus, and talk about your title, talk about what you did, what company, location, and include some of your accomplishments or your reason for being there. I'm going to discard that. And then you can do that going back. You can edit using the pencil, or you can drag and drop using those 3 lines. Again, recurring theme for user experience. So I go down here. I'm going to share with you my last job in the Army just to show you how I did it. Just a small duties and responsibility paragraph for that role, along with all of my accomplishments. And I say all of your accomplishments because I treat LinkedIn like a master resume, meaning you put all of your accomplishments in there so you show up higher in search results, keywords count. And then if somebody asks you for a tailored resume, then you literally can copy and paste the bullets into another document or use the resume builder, which I'll show you a little bit later. So you've got your experience section, you've got your education, again, add new ones with the plus, edit with the pencil, and drag and drop with the lines. You've got your licenses, certifications, volunteer experience, skills and endorsements. You get an opportunity to add up to 50 skills that say what you're good at, and then people you're connected with can go in and actually endorse you and say you're good at that role, which again, helps recruiters and employers know that you're good at something, that you are what you say you are. You get recommendations from others and give them to others. Again, somebody that does that job attaches their name to you and says that, hey, I know Mike Quinn is good at this. And then the other section with accomplishments, you can add your awards, your honors, you can add your languages, you can add courses you've taken, but you basically create this expanded profile that gives them a better picture of your professional identity. I mean, look, I've hired over 100 people in the last year, and I get the resume and I click that link to the LinkedIn profile at the top and go right to their profile to see more about who they are. So we've set up our profile, and now we want to talk about where do we get the information if you don't have it already. Well, let's go over here to Word and talk about a really neat integration between LinkedIn and Microsoft Word. So if you go over to Word and you click to open a new document and you type resume right here, it actually gives you resume templates. I'm going to choose this modern chronological one here, and I'm going to create it. And what it actually does is you can just literally highlight and change documents. I mean, this is a fantastic, easy resume template, and you can go back through all your military experience. But because it's integrated with LinkedIn, you can actually choose jobs. I'm going to go with project manager. And it actually gives you examples of experience that people currently in those roles have listed on their profiles or their resumes. And so you can see where it goes. It gives you the top skills. It gives you some of the jobs that you may be interested in. And it even lets you go in and start showing your open opportunities. But we're not going to do that here. I just want you to understand that you can leverage the relationships between LinkedIn and Microsoft Word to focus on building that great resume if you don't want to do it on LinkedIn. So I'm going to go back to LinkedIn and let's talk about that open to opportunities role. So if you go to the top of your profile here, you'll see you can actually show that you're open to opportunities. Just by clicking there, you can say what jobs you want, the different areas you might be open to moving to, the types of roles, and how you want it to go, only to recruiters or to everyone on LinkedIn. And what that does is as soon as you click that, it's searchable for recruiters, and it will dramatically increase the number of views on your profile because they don't want to waste their time going after people that don't want to leave their roles. You know, a recruiter doesn't want to talk to a service member, maybe a soldier that's not getting out for 5 years. I mean, they're not going to go try to convince them to hire a job. But that person that says they're open, well, that's a good conversation they might want to have. And that's how you turn on that you're open to opportunities. So we've set up our profile. We've given you the tools to create your resume. Now we want to talk about finding those people with something in common, those people that are going to create opportunity. And this is the most powerful thing about LinkedIn. This is how that scale comes into play. So I want to talk about how do you find someone that's in the job you want, where you want to be, that's a veteran of your branch of service. Somebody that you can reach out to for advice or for those referrals. So it's simple. In the search bar, all we're going to do is type a job that we want to do. I'm going to go back to project manager and I'm going to hit enter. And then I'm going to click people because I want to find people in those jobs. And so you got about 30 million results. That's not really helping me right there, but let's filter it down. I'm going to come here to locations and let's say San Antonio. Go to the San Antonio, Texas area and hit apply. Look at that, down to 62,000. Still not quite where I want to be. So I'm going to come over here to all filters and I'm going to go to past company and I'm going to hit US Army. So if by adding US Army as a past company, I'm going to find Army veterans. So now we're down to 2,300 Army veterans in the San Antonio that are project managers. Right then and there, it's a great way to find people that could mentor you or talk to you about opportunities, about the area, about the jobs. But I want to show you a step further. You can go back over to here to all filters and you can go to current companies. And let's say I wanted to find, well, you know, everybody wants to work at USAA. Let's say I want to find someone at USAA and hit apply. Look at that, 184 USAA employees that are Army veterans in project management roles in San Antonio. So now we're really getting to people that are in the jobs we want, that are working at the companies we want, that are where we want, that are Army veterans. And you can do this for any branch of service. I'm going to see if we have it one step further to really find those people you have something in common with. I'm going to go to my schools. So I went to Excelsior College. I'm going to add a school and hit apply. And look at that. So 3 people that are in the job I want, where I want to work, that are Army veterans in San Antonio, that are actually graduates from a school I attended, Excelsior College. So I would actually, if I wanted to work at USA, the first people I would reach out to would be those 3. And I would just send them a note saying, hey, I noticed we have this in common. I'm getting out. Do you have a few minutes for a phone call in the next few weeks? I've done it over and over and over again. And in fact, this is how I've gotten both my jobs post-Army. You have that conversation, they see talent, and it creates opportunity. Now for employers, it's the same exact thing. I'm going to clear this out. Say you want to find an Army veteran or an Army service member. Say I want to find somebody in training. People, and I want to find someone in San Antonio. Hit apply. And I could just come here to current Army and hit apply. Boom. 2,700 results. So it's free for service members. It's free for all users. It's free for employers. And they can leverage this advanced search tool to find the right people to connect with. And that's the power of LinkedIn. So now We talk about someone that's just getting on LinkedIn, doesn't have a huge network. How do they find support right off the bat? Maybe they're getting a late start at this. Well, that's simple. That's groups. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here to the end, and you can click groups over here, and you can go ahead and click groups. But I'm going to check for the #1 group out there, the Veteran Mentor Network. Look at that, Veteran Mentor Network. So if you join a group like the Veteran Mentor Network with almost 145,000 members, you can actually post content, ask questions, and find help within that larger group. So you could have one connection. You join the Veteran Mentor Network, which is very engaging, and you post on there, hey, I'm looking for an IT project manager role in San Antonio, and I need some help with a resume. Does anybody have a template, or can anybody help? And I'll tell you, within about 2 days, you'll have at least 5 volunteers of veterans, military spouses, or allies that are coming to help. So there's a great opportunity to find that support right off the bat using groups. So now we can't talk about a job platform with actually talking about the job search as well, because you actually do have to search and apply on occasion. So again, LinkedIn is going to have more jobs on there than any other platform you consider, just because of the scale and the number of companies that are out there. But you can, what's great about this is you can search for any job. Let's go for that project manager role again. And I just type it in there, and I can change the location. We're going to go back to San Antonio, Texas area, and boom. You've got 522 jobs out there, even in today's market. But what's really exciting about this is you can scroll through them and look, and you could filter it additionally by all this other criteria, by type of job. You can do it by benefits. You can do it by the company. I mean, different areas within San Antonio metropolitan area, all of that. But the great thing about this is you can also turn on a notification so that LinkedIn will actually send you a push notification or an email when a new job is loaded, allowing you to get a leg up on the competition when it comes to that. And then if you find a job that has like more than 10 applications, you can actually click on that job. Let's see, let's do this one. And if you scroll down, you actually get competitive intelligence. So LinkedIn will actually tell you how you rank against the other people that have already clicked to apply for that role, whether it's by skills, current information, seniority, location, education. It'll actually tell you whether you should even bother, I mean, honestly, without a referral, applying for those jobs. Sometimes it'll even tell you people you know at that company. But it's a great way to use LinkedIn jobs to find the tools you want. So we show you jobs. We talk about a lot of the tools out there, but let me show you some things that are specific to LinkedIn that'll help a lot. If you go back to jobs, I'm going to start it over. You've got a salary tool, which allows you, and it's very accurate based on location, job, company. It'll give you very accurate information on the types of salary you should be asking for. I'm going to go back here. You've got your interview prep tool, which is really exciting. If you click this more, interview prep will actually give you the 26 common jobs. It actually gives you an example of how to answer it. It gives you a class, like a 4 or 5 minute class typically, on how you can frame your own answer. But this is what's really exciting about this tool. It allows you to actually practice. You can record yourself answering it, and then you can actually send it to your connections and ask for feedback. So say the dreaded tell me about yourself question. You practice answering it until you get it right, and then you send it to somebody that you know and say, hey, can you give me feedback? This is a great way to prep for your dreaded resume. I'm sorry, prep for the interview, and make sure that you come out on the end with an opportunity. And then I'm gonna go back here to jobs again, and there's also this resume builder I told you about earlier. So when you click on the resume builder and you click new resume, what it does, it actually pulls out your profile and allows you to copy and paste and modify it to create a resume. So I put all my information in there. Obviously, I don't need this much. Let's say I want to erase some of this. I can just delete that and hit save, and you see it's gone. Say I want to delete some of these jobs. This doesn't really apply. I can delete that. Say I want to delete this one. I can delete that. And say I want to get rid of some of these bullets. Let's talk about this one right here. I want to get rid of some of these bullets. I can edit it and get rid of these bullets. Delete. It doesn't change your profile, but what it does is it starts to modify this, this draft resume, and you can get a preview of what it looks like so you can see if it actually meets your page requirements, right? See how that works? That's super easy. And then you can actually, when you're done, you can actually either download it to PDF or save a copy. So you've really got everything you need to use and everything you need to learn to be able to go ahead and build those relationships, to create that resume, to search for jobs, to network in general. But I want to give you one more tool. So when you have your year of LinkedIn Premium, you go over to Learning, you've got access to all the jobs you want. All the training. So you can go in here and type in veterans. And here's a great class. So you can have all this high quality, taught by industry experts training. Here's a great one, transition from military to civilian employment. These are all great classes that you can take to help with your transition. So it gives you that LinkedIn learning background. Now I know one of the questions that people have is, hey, do I have to pay for it? And the answer is no. You don't need anything. You can get all the functionality using free, and every service member, veteran, or military spouse gets at least a year of LinkedIn free. And all you have to do is go to linkedin.com/military to get to that LinkedIn premium site. You click the right button, it takes you through ID.me that verifies your military service, and instantly you get that free year. So service members and veterans get 1 free year, which is perfect for when we're starting our transition 1 year out. And military spouses get every PCS, they get a free year, and 6 months before the transition of their spouse, they get a free year. And so there you have it in a nutshell, everything you need to know about LinkedIn really fast, but I'll tell you, you can just dive right in. We'll give you other resources in another document, but I know without a doubt, if you put a little bit of effort in LinkedIn, you'll have a lot of results on the other side. So thank you for spending the time with me today. I really hope you've learned something, and I hope to see you soon.